overwhelmingly sweet. What the hell? No. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm so excited. All of the packages for some of the costumes have come in, so I'm gonna do a little unboxing. If my boyfriend comes home in time, he's gonna try them on, because that would be fun to see them on too, to see how they look. And yeah, I'm just very excited. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off because I had to go into work today for a little bit, but I figured if I'm dressed up, might as well film. A couple of quick updates too before I get into that is my short film, The Archaeologist, made it into its first of the few film festivals that I entered it into. So I'm so excited. It made it into the Austin International Art Fest. And yeah, it's a semi-finalist right now. So hoping we find out, more good news as time comes. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what happens. I'm so excited to see what the other festivals, hopefully in the next couple months we'll be hearing about those. But yeah, I know I said it in my last video, but I'm so pumped. Going to that film festival was the first screening or festival that I attended, and it was for a film that I acted in, but it just got me so hooked and pumped and ready to do so much more, so I am hoping for that. But yeah, that's the only other update as of right now. I am still doing the usual Substack. I will soon have a video that I'm kind of excited about that is going to be about a whole other feature. And tomorrow I get up and I'm going to film. I got cast in, it's a pilot for a second season of a TV show that a friend of mine has made. And yeah, we're filming the pilot tomorrow. Well, it's one of the days of filming, the only day I really needed. So I'm hoping I can kind of vlog that and show that process. I mean, unless it comes out to be super boring, then I probably won't upload it and force you all to watch that. But yeah, so I'll get right into it. Yes, I might edit this out of order, but I'll just film it the way I want to. I need scissors, so let me get into it. No, I can't find them. So, they were left outside, so they're probably good. Good to use. Okay, so the costumes that I had to buy, I actually had to get them we're doing a promo video, and I wanted to do something, I knew I wanted to do something where you could kind of see more of what the film will be, because that'll just be a better way to kind of push for funding, get people to really see what I'm trying to make. But I decided I kind of wrote a little script. It's supposed to be funny. I don't know if it'll end up being funny. I'm hoping it does. So it'll be me just as myself as the director. And then what I'm gonna do is have the two characters. They're kind of like fantasy warrior characters. It's Gareth, the destroyer of darkness and evil, and Raphael. They're kind of meant to be, I wanted Gareth to be like He-Man meets Henry Cavill. Like the ultimate archetype of fantasy hero. So I, of course, cast my Neanderthal brother to be in it. He fit that in my head. It'll be him, and then Raphael is his sidekick. He's just an average guy. A series I really love is the Prydain Chronicles. It's what the Disney film The Black Cauldron is based off of. Which, oh my god, if Disney's gonna be doing freaking remakes, which I'm glad they're stopping anyway, I don't know why they never, I know why, but revisiting that series and actually letting that be a fleshed out series is just such a freaking miss on their part, because it is by Lloyd Alexander, and he's so good, especially just as a coming of age. It's about, Taran is a young boy, and he is so average, just a plain assistant pig keeper in the midst of a princess who has magical powers, and these warriors, these brave knights, these men who can do amazing things, and he is just so average, and you just relate to him, and you get to see him grow up, and oh my gosh, I could talk about it forever, but yeah, he's supposed to be like that. So that their costumes, and essentially what I did is just the actors in the promo, the actors that'll be in the short film ideally, and then the sizing will just stay the same. And so I All right, I will shut up. I'm clearly taking too long. So this is the first one. I wanted this to be like a tunic, and it's a tunic. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. But it has, and I'll come close. It has this detailing that I really liked. If you can see that, it's very like Greek. Very nice. Very, very good material. I didn't need it to be too fancy schmancy, because I mean, I'm hiding behind the fact that like, oh, it's an 80s fantasy film, it's supposed to be low budget. But I mean, but this is nice. I got all of this off of Amazon, unfortunately, but fortunately. That's great. I'm gonna have Drew try that on. So I'm thinking for Raphael, it's just a tunic. I did get a vest, which is what I think this is, just in case I wanted to throw that over it. And some of the like concept pieces, oh yeah, this is the vest. That might be just the right size, I think, for the actor playing him. That's nice though. It's nice like suede material. Okay, the vest does look goofy. The arm cuff's cool. I don't know. Is it weird that this is like that?
No. No, I don't think so. It looks very like Ella Enchanted.
So I think that's Raphael's main pieces. I did get, and what I'm most excited about, is swords. Don't do that. Ooh. Oh, that's so sick. Just kind of do like that. That looks really nice. That is neat. Okay, that's that. Now, this stuff I think is Garrett's. So I couldn't decide. I saw online on Amazon, they had a lot of like, I just typed in medieval warrior costumes, and I noticed, I knew I wanted him to have something over his shoulders. Now, whether or not that was like a more leather strap thing or not, I debated having him just be like, I saw some guys very cheesy, like shirtless, just like a leather shoulder strap. Thought that was kind of too goofy and too weird because it's my brother, so I didn't want to be doing that. But I saw this and I was like, oh, this could be. It's kind of small though, but maybe that'll add to the comedy of it. I don't know. Maybe he can do a one-off, off the shoulder kind of thing. But this could be sick, and it doesn't look too bad. It's a fake fur and it feels good, but yeah, we can all do that. I'm sorry. Okay, this came with a nice belt, cheap little belt. It has a really weird stake. Really pretty, really neat. Not too bad. I ordered, this actually had one size only. So if you are looking to get something like this, it's a one size only, so you'd have to kind of play with it or order two, depending on the size of your actor, or if you're going to Ren Fair or something like that, but fairly okay size. What do you think? You think it's cheap? As you can see, I got a little bit excited and I tried to open it. And that was the moment that I got the idea to make an unboxing video. But, I'll just open this delicately. Another belt, same, like literally the exact same Celtic designs, so could be from the same company. It's nice. These are very thin. You can kind of see through them, which might be a problem depending on, again, if you're going to Ren Fair, if you have a character that's gonna be, if you're filming in the daylight. So I will be wary of that. It came with pants that are pretty see-through, so just watch out for that. But it has these nice little things here, and there's that. Fairly big, pretty good. For extra. Is it too big, Mama? Want to smell? You want to get a looks? Okay, now this is the vest. I will say for an extra large, I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know, but this is pretty good. Again, fairly cheap material, but looking at it on camera, it's not too bad. And we're gonna be filming in kind of a low light when we actually film, because it'll be nighttime shots, so I'm hoping that maybe we can kind of hide that it's not super amazing material. I think this is the belt piece. So it came with pants, a tunic, belt piece, I think like arm straps. What I might do too is mix and match the accessories, just to kind of play with. I think Derek would definitely be more done up. He would have more of the accessories versus Raphael, who I just kind of want to look plain. I think that's it for them. Now the piece de resistance. This is what I'm most looking forward to. Big Mama. This is supposed to be Garrett's sword. And like I said, I want it to be comically big. I don't think this will be comically big. I think it'll just be a decently sized sword. But in terms of like, compared to Raphael and what I want for the scene, I want it to just be so much bigger. Lord, I feel like King Arthur trying to pull this out of. You know what? I could have probably done this. Oh, I feel really bad. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. This is sick. Ah! Oh, this is cool. This, y'all, was only like $50, I think, maybe less. Oh, it's okay. Gonna have to be careful. This does have like. So I bought a metal helmet once, and it came with like a little bit of an oil to it. Oh my god, it's heavy. Ooh, this is so sick. Look at that. Oh, so freaking heavy. My lord. Oh my gosh, this is so sick. I don't want to give this to my brother because I feel like he's gonna like attack me or something. This is so worth it, so cool. Okay, perfect. No matter what they wear, I don't care. This is so cool. I'll have to come up with like a million other fantasy scripts just to be able to use this, but. Ah! All right. Ah, that's that. Yeah, so like I said, these are just costume pieces and accessories for two characters who are in like 30 seconds of the whole thing. So I have a lot ahead of me, a lot to do, but this is just such a wonderful beginning and I am so excited. But yeah, this is so cool. I'm so excited. I will post obviously the promo video when it's done. I'll put that up so people can see, and yeah, I can't wait to see how they look on camera. I can't wait to see how they look when they're in makeup and their hair and everything. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. I feel so fancy in this. All right, with that out of the way, I've made a huge mess that I'll clean up later. I will get into the pitch deck. Now, I'll just screen record my view, my end of things. But, so when I was making pitch deck, I looked to a lot of friends of mine who've made pitch decks and films, and I watched some videos. And it's not perfect. It's definitely, you know, I've got a lot to learn, and there's some things I want to tweak and make a little better as far as that goes. But yeah, I am. Get out of there! She likes plastic. I'm sorry, but overall, I am happy with it. Yeah, I will just get into it. I'll shut up. So obviously, the title of the film is Beneath the Crystal Kingdom. It's a proof of concept. It'll be written and directed by myself. And the little tagline I had for it is, if you could have everything you ever wanted, would you still want what you never had? That's all I've got to say about that. Now, I did write out a little logline for it, and over here on the other side, I have Mary Miller. She's our protagonist. She's our main character. I did name her after my mom. My mom, her name's Mary, and she is the reason I am even interested in fantasy films. When I was a little kid, she would, when my dad was a football coach, and I think I've said before, we moved a lot. And just as a family, like every 2 years, felt like we were moving, and we were very close. It was me, my two older brothers, and my younger sister, and my parents were very overprotective, rightfully so. But we didn't like go out on the weekends or anything like that. We would just stay home, and we were best friends, the four of us, and we would make films together. My dad had been given this like video camera from a friend, and it was the first like family camera we had, and he would let us use it to make I don't even know if he'd let us. I think we just took it when he wasn't around, and we would make home movies. And my mom, she's a teacher, she's a geometry teacher. She had been given one year a laptop from work, and she would stay up and edit our films. And you know, on weekends when my dad was gone, she'd take us to family video, and we would all pick out a movie. And I remember it so distinctly. It was such a pivotal night in my life. I didn't realize it at the time, but she showed us this movie. She was like, oh my God, we have to go home and watch it. I love this movie so much. And I was looking at it, and I see goblins and a girl who looks like a princess, and I was like, I don't know. And it was Labyrinth. It was Jim Henson's Labyrinth. And we watched it as a family that night, and it was just, it changed our lives forever. My older brother, the one who's actually going to be in it, I think outwardly you would think like he is yes, a Neanderthal. He's a beefhead and just a football coach, but he loves fantasy, and he was so obsessed with David Bowie. He would literally walk into my sister and I's room and just start talking like David Bowie and annoy the shit out of us. So it's just very special to me, and so I wanted this film. Yes, it's an homage to 80s fantasy, but it's also kind of a love letter for my mom. Just all the movies she showed us. So yeah, that's why I named her Mary. And I'll get into the logline. So, longing to escape her mundane life, a teenage girl is swept into a forgotten fantasy realm where a sinister figure offers her the chance to rewrite her story. But as reality and myth collide, she must choose between the life she longs for and the light she's been destined to protect. A nostalgic homage to the magical, mysterious fantasy films of the 80s. Okay, so as far as the look of the film, obviously, yes, like I said, I have Labyrinth here, Dark Crystal, Princess Bride. I even pulled some images from like Legend. Something about that film look. I know it's the grain. I was watching videos on this too, actually. So much of what gave them that look is, yes, they shot on film versus digital, of course. But they were talking about how much work went into the lighting on set, like just how much, I don't know. So I'm really trying to pay attention to that and learn more about that, so that when the film dates do come, I can talk with the DP and the cinematographer ahead of time, and really work with them on how do we need to light these sets to look like what's going to give us the best, the closest thing we can get to how those 80s films looked. It is a little difficult because some of these sets, I actually say like 50 to 80% of them, we can't have access to just yet because I'm gonna have to rent. Now the forest, like outside area, I think I'm gonna film here, which is good because it's natural light, so I'm gonna really need to test that. And then I think I'm using my bedroom possibly for Mary's bedroom, so that'll be easy in terms of being able to play with that. But otherwise, yeah, we're gonna have to just kind of do some pre-tests and go from there. So yeah, I gave some photos for that. Now, I also put in other little sprinklings of tidbits here, like, are we the writers of our own fate? Or is there a greater force than this world has ever known? I put the tagline again. So when I've been looking at props, I'm definitely looking into like the pieces and elements of her room, but that crystal in particular, what I want that to look like. Something that could just be mistaken for an ordinary necklace in a teenage girl's bedroom, but could also be something used in an entirely other dimension, entirely other world. Here I included just some stills and color schemes for really differentiating the fantasy world and the real world. And if this ever does get to be a feature, I could go way more in depth with that. Again, the lighting, of course, is going to be a major factor, the costumes. But yeah, I really wanted the fantasy world to have that oversaturated, very vibrant look that we're so used to with 80s fantasy films. But with the real world, I really noticed, and I put in a still from, it's not a fantasy film, it's a movie, it's a cult classic, it's The Burbs. I love it. I think today a lot of people will be like, this is not freaking funny at all. Maybe it's the nostalgia. I just find it so funny. It's another like family favorite film. There's something, looking at those films, I need to find the exact date that it was made, but I know it was in the 80s or early 90s even. There's something so light and pastel about it that I was really pulling from, and it's such a good, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a nice juxtaposition of the fantasy world if we do have more of these pastels and these softer frames, just softer looks. So I really liked that, and I really want to implement that. I gave a little background, a little bit of world building. This is like very brief. I could working on expanding it even more, but I did give the land its own name, Eloria, land of eternal light, and I just kind of talked about it as it's a realm where fairies rule vast kingdoms and dark evil spirits reside in the Lord of the Shadows, Lunrith Mountains. For hundreds of years, the people lived in peace until the Lord of Shadows attempted to steal the Crystal of Supreme Light, believing it to hold the power needed to overtake all of Eloria. However, on that fateful night, the Lord went to steal the shard. It was gone. Now it's a race to find the shard and protect the Eloria as we know it. And it's going to be very inspired by medieval Europe. Obviously have those like influences of Celtic folklore, but classic, standard, stereotypical fantasy world. Now the real world, I have set it in 1986 in a small town in Kansas, because that's where I'm from. It's mid-October, it's right before the senior fall dance. Football season is in full swing for Mary's brothers, and she is left without a friend or a date to take her to the dance. And the town is a picturesque cookie-cutout suburb of 1980s middle America. Nothing ever happens here, and seemingly nothing ever will. And again, I just showed some images to kind of showcase the different look. Getting into the costumes, I pulled a lot of pictures from Depop, mostly because I can't remember, I don't know the last time I bought clothes from an actual store. I've only been shopping on Depop, which can be freaking pricey, but I will say I've been finding some really good deals. I don't buy clothes that often. Well, I mean, I don't know. But when I do, I've been going on there lately. And so I've just been finding really good vintage pieces. And I actually have some that I might use. But yeah, I want to see if, obviously I'll use thrift stores in secondhand, but if I could find some on Depop from, I notice a lot of these Depop girlies, I think what they're doing is just, finding thrift stores in their area and then reselling it. So if it gives me more access to thrift stores across America, great. I am so down to do it. But I've got some pictures of prom dresses. That's actually the tunic I got off Amazon. Some of these are on Amazon too. The Lord of the Shadows, you'll kind of see with some of these more done up medieval pieces like the leather, I'm really fascinated with, and I think I will have to go to either a costume shop or Amazon, unfortunately. But yeah, I want him to have that, like, I thought about going on the realm of course, Labyrinth, David Bowie, like a bejeweled, velvety look. Velvet could be very cool, I will say that. But I'm already being so obvious with my inspirations. I don't want to be that much more obvious and steal. So I'm thinking about that, considering that. For her prom dress, I have an idea in my head, and if I was any kind of costumer, had an ounce of talent in my body, I would love to be able to just make this dress, because I feel it, I see it in my head so vividly. I want it to have the big poof. I actually have a picture of my mom. This was more the 90s, not 80s, but she's in a dress, and my grandma used to make a lot of her dress. She made her wedding dress, actually. She was in this gorgeous velvety red dress that has puff sleeves. It's a little bit tight, and I don't know if I want Mary's to be that tight. I think I do want it to be a little looser. She's younger. It is, I don't know, it just would feel wrong if she had like a super tight dress. But I want it to be red. I don't know why. I want it to be red. So I'm looking at dresses like that right now. I want that to be a big part of her color. And of course I did some storyboards. I need to do more. But yeah, I just kind of pulled and from the basics. And that's kind of it. That's really what I have so far. I know it's not much. I know it needs to be worked on. There's little errors in there, but I'm excited. Things are coming together, and it's just, I'm gonna try to keep it going, try to keep this train on track. Yeah, it is crazy. Hopefully the promo, I think, will make it more real for me. It already feels real just getting costumes and stuff, but I think the promo will make it like, okay, I cannot turn back. That's kind of what the GoFundMe made me feel like too. Like, I made this promise to myself, I gotta get it done. And I'm very much, I get a lot of ideas, I get a lot of, I get excited to do things, and I think that having the follow through is maybe where I need help. And I'm just really trying to push myself, because I made a promise to myself that these next 5 years of my life, I am going to just make all the films I've ever dreamed of being in, because I can't just wait around and hope that some producer with money or director's gonna make them, and then also knock on my door and be like, hey Alex, do you want to finally be in a 90s sci-fi film? I can't do that. I can't wait around anymore, and I don't want to wait around anymore. And so I just gotta make them myself. And it's exciting and it's thrilling. I was telling my boyfriend this the other day, we were on a walk, and I was like, it is the most thrilling feeling when you get an idea in your head and you get to see it come to life and you get to see it actually like be tangible and you're right there. So it's just exciting and it's a lot, but yeah. And I'll get into it later. I have already started pre-production for another short film I want to do this year, and I'll get into all that. But yeah, it's a runaway train, and I just got to keep going with it now, and I can't turn back, and I don't want to turn back, and I'm excited, and I hope that you follow along and you watch the videos, or maybe you find it years later and it gives you inspiration to make that film finally, or do that photo shoot, or do that music video, or whatever it is. Like, you can make it work, and you can use all your creative talent. You do have talent, you do have what it takes, and you can do it. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I don't even have a lot of the know-how or the money. Just going with it. So, and that's that. But yeah, thank you so much.
Ready?
Ready. Okay.